What's up, heretics? It's the Religion of Speed podcast, the show for car nerds by car nerds. I am Matt Overstreet.
I am Chris Huffman.
I'm Hamza.
And I'm Aaron.
Today, on the show, we are going to be talking about, we're going to be playing a little game. It's basically, I can swear at it. This is our podcast. Although, if we put it on YouTube, you can't swear within the first 30 seconds.
Only within the first 30 seconds?
First 30 seconds, they check to make sure if you're swearing. If you do, you get flagged.
What's the count at right now?
I have no idea. So we're just going to call our game Rent, Keep, Crush. You should all understand what game we're referring to. Blank, Marry, Kill. Where we're going to be picking three cars and we all debate which
Unalive.
ones.
You can't say kill on the internet.
Unalive.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Nope. We just got demonetized.
Let us say, they're not going to let us on TikTok now.
No. Only if you're stealing Kias. That's the only way to get on TikTok.
Right.
We could just abbreviate it and say FMK.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
You
I
guys
like
will know
that.
what's up.
Yeah, we'll just censor it for the first part, and then after, I'm sure we're past 30 seconds, we can swear all we want.
Right.
But before we get to that, we're going to cover some news. I don't know if it's really news, it's more just events. Hamza, you went to Bosnia.
You did.
It was an unfortunate reason to have to go visit. Yep. But while you were there, you learned a couple things.
A few.
A few, yeah. Including this hill climb race that we don't have a ton of information on, but...
Yeah, so about 20 minutes, not if that, away from my hometown is a small village. It's called Sazin, and it is in the mountains. It's not. This isn't Pikes Peak hill climb stuff, but
it seems pretty mountainous.
Beautiful mountain road. Starts at the race starts at the base of this mountain road, which is right next to the river Una, which goes through the city I grew up in, and then it climbs up this windy hill climb road as it would to a castle, and I think the castle is in the logo. You can see it on the left side, but
you can.
Just barely.
Yeah, they've been doing it
you
for.
You posted pictures. I should have put one in the slideshow. I'll maybe add one in post.
Yeah, the road is amazing, which is kind of funny because not all of the roads are that great. Bosnia is a very poor country, and so through the city, the roads are really garbage. But then we kind of got out into the mountains, and I was like, wow, this road is great. So I got to drive it, unfortunately, in a Kia Sportage, but it was manual, so that's important. And it was just super fun, and it seems like a race that I would like to go. When I go back, I would like to plan my trip around and see if I can watch it or maybe even get some footage. And
yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, even me, I didn't realize in Bosnia they would be doing a hill climb race like this. And then I was kind of thinking, okay, but it's probably more amateur stuff. But I went to the website and there was old Formula cars and a purpose-built Evo I think I saw, and some high-end shit.
Yeah, it's an FIA sanctioned event. It was kind of funny because when I was there, everybody, my family really knows me from Facebook, and they're like, oh, we love when you post your car stuff. They're like, oh, they do a rally race here, and I was like, yeah, Rally Bosnia. I'm pretty familiar with that, but that doesn't happen anywhere near where I grew up. They're like, no, there's another one. They kept calling it a rally, and I was like, oh. So when we got to the thing, I saw Tazin Grand Prix. It's on a wall as you're coming up the road, and I was like, Grand Prix rally, what the hell is going on?
Which one is it? These are two different events.
Yeah, and so as I researched, I realized it was a hill climb, and then I talked to some of the guys. There's a bar, cafe, restaurant kind of thing down at the bottom where they do a lot of the staging, and those guys were really familiar with the race, and they talked a lot about it, and just it brings in a ton of business, and I mean, as it would, right?
Right.
People come from all over Southeastern Europe, a lot of Italians. I mean, they're hours away. A lot of Austrians.
This is my bad American educated brain. I'm like, Bosnia is a couple hours from Italy. My brain's like, that doesn't make sense. Then you look at a map, you're like, oh no, I guess that does make sense.
Because we're so used to a couple hours just being the next state.
Right.
Or
Kansas.
just
Yeah.
still in the state. Yeah. if you're in
Florida, Texas, any of those where it takes 10 hours to drive through, and you're like, I'm still in this state somehow.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I feel like I'm in purgatory when I go through Kansas. Every time.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool just because the internet's really opened my eyes for since I was young, but just to the fact that racing is a human thing. It's not an American thing or a European thing. Everybody does it. And if there's if there's a thing with an engine, men will race it. It's always men. Let's be real. Women will get involved in the sport, but they're not going to start it. No,
We're the ones to risk our lives to see who's faster.
Yeah, right.
We're the ones who want to do that,
like,
inexplicably.
Yeah, and so it's just, I think it's cool that like even in Bosnia, because I don't know how that country's doing in general anymore.
I mean, I was surprised. Yeah, like it's not bad. It's just poor. Unemployment's high. There's a lot of like the younger, kind of like our generation and younger, trying to get out because there's really no opportunities like economically.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, there's still stuff happening and people are still doing their best, and they're opening up. Like one of the things that I learned while I was over there is I went hiking, and they're opening up this like huge kind of national park. I don't know if you would call it like just a system of national parks, beautiful places, mountains, peaks, that sort of stuff. So there's progress forward, but it's very slow, and that's why I was so surprised to see this, because generally racing, you associate money, right? We all say pay to play.
Right.
It's
there's a Bentley on their freaking
yeah, and like you said, there's old formula cars that race this, and they might be coming from Germany or whatever, but like the fact that it brings people it's anchoring that country with motorsports, I think is awesome. And Slavs, we love cars. It's literally like every car guy that or at least everyone that I know that is from that part of the world they're just so into cars, and like they and it's cool. It's nice to see. So
yeah, no, that is really awesome. I'd love to see some footage from it, and the road looked awesome. The castle looks super cool.
Yeah. Castle was dope.
Is the castle part of the national park system or anything? Or
no, actually, that was very surprising. So, like, I went up. The point of me going on this road was to see this castle. I had no idea that this existed before I was. So, like, as I discovered all this as I drove up there, but then when I got to the castle, it's just open to the public. You don't pay anything. Which is kind of bad because some of the insides had been damaged and like graffitied and stuff like that.
Because kids can just come in.
There's really no way for them to control that. Which on one side I'm like, yeah, this should be like a public place or whatever. But then on the other side, you're like, maybe they should be charging something to like take care of the grounds and make sure everything was, There was this guy working there. I think his house was right next to the castle, and I don't know if he was like working on if he was employed by like the whoever owns the castle.
He was just out there.
He talked to my mom for a little bit. I should have asked him, but we were just kind of leaving.
He's just kind of the caretaker by default because he's the guy who lives there.
Yeah, literally the castle entrance was like right here, and then maybe 20 feet is his house, and he was just like pulling like a pickaxe out of like a wheelbarrow or something. I was like, what the hell are you gonna do with that? Like
what? Where did I go?
Yeah.
What is this place?
I've been working on the castle.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. We don't have castles in America, We just haven't been around that long.
We got Bishop Castle down south.
True.
I don't know if that counts though.
I mean, if you count a crazy man building a castle by himself in disregard for all state laws and safety regulations, then yes.
That's what he did.
That's like the most American castle ever.
That's true.
And instead of an admission price, he just has a sign that says, you can't sue me if you come onto this property. If you hurt yourself, it's your fault. Control your children.
Control your children.
That's kind of how this place was. There was like no guardrails. Like there was one rope that was like roping off this like plank that they had set across where effectively it would have been like stairs, and then like a bridge had been destroyed, and they just put like a plank of wood across this thing to get to this other part. And I was like, should I go on this? And I was with my stepdad, and he's like, I think this is one of those at your own risk situations. And I was like, I'm gonna go for it. Didn't do it.
Hey, you didn't die, so you're fine.
Yeah, you're still here.
No guardrails. No. Some of the rooms in the castle didn't even have like they were on the second story. There was no floor, so you could just see downstairs, and it was just like open. Like they're like, don't go there, but you can look down if you want.
See, we don't need all these safety regulations and guardrails and shit.
Seatbelts.
Everything will sort itself out.
It's just Darwinian.
Yeah.
Like what happened to Phil? Phil fell down the hole.
Well, why was Phil fucking around the hole?
Yeah.
No one will fall down that hole ever again.
Yeah.
So the other thing you talked about when you're in Bosnia is something that actually links up really well with this next story we're going to talk about, coming from, this is from The Drive, which also reported it from, I think it was Washington Post. So, a bit of a telephone thing going on there. But they're saying that Gen Z and young people and enthusiast cars is quote unquote saving the manual transmission, and that manual transmission sales have been up year after year.
What? Okay, how many 7-speed manuals are there out there?
I feel like that's a Chevy.
Yeah, but
Is it a Chevy?
it's got to be a
Is it GM?
C7.
Yeah, that looks,
C7
C7.
it looks like a
Okay.
C7 thing.
Because I can't name another 7-speed manual except
Porsche.
maybe. Did the Porsche do a 7-speed?
Porsche did for a while.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Ooh, oh, you know what? Rethinking it, looking at how the stitching is actually decent on that, it might be a Porsche. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Interior does look nice for a Chevy.
No, I'm looking
The
at
Porsche-
I'm looking at the steering wheel buttons on the right. That looks Chevy to me.
And I feel like the Porsche shifter's higher up, like in the.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't sat in a newer Porsche in a long time. But yeah, I didn't even notice that. The 7-speed transmission.
Sorry.
No,
I
it's
was
all
just
good.
like, what? I mean, I know they're out there.
Well, I got in a newer Ford F-150 the other day because it was having transmission issues. And it's an automatic, but it gives you this like list on the side where what gear you're in, and there's 10 of them. It's a 10-speed automatic.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
those Ford 10 speeds, I think that's the same one that's in the Mustang.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, but they're really good, too.
Well, this one was shit. So, but it did less than 60,000 miles, and it was already having a bad flare-up with the 1-2 shift. But that went to Ford because that's not my problem.
I was under warranty.
Yeah. I sometimes like that.
We had a Santa Cruz blow out a transmission, 7,800 miles on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Are those CVTs?
It's a double clutch.
Oh, yeah. The double clutches have been having a lot of
Yeah.
problems, too. See,
Yeah.
but this is why all the young people are going to manuals. Yeah. Because there's been so many transmissions. Now, this is encouraging news that manual transmission sales are up. I will say, though, the numbers aren't as impressive as the headline makes it out to be. So it says, this is from the Washington Post, manual car transmission sales reached all-time low market share in 2021, consisting of less than 1% of new car sales. Since their 0.9% floor, there has been a rebound. Sales rose in 2022 to 1.2%, and in 2023, 1.7%.
Those are
0.5%.
big increases.
Yeah, that's almost
honestly.
a 100% increase.
It is a big increase in the actual amount, but it's still only 1.7% of the cars sold. So,
Well, the statistic here in the States is that only 4% of drivers know how. No. Yeah, I think it's only 4% of drivers
Know how to drive
a manual. So.
Wow.
That's mind-blowing.
that would make sense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it seems low,
But
but we're always around enthusiasts.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
so
easy to
everybody
forget
we
in our
know.
circle.
Yeah. It's interesting. So, there's two things here that one thing that I'm concerned about, and that's the price of manuals will go up because
Yeah.
there's a perceived demand. It's right, and it's not a real demand. It's like definitely just a perceived demand.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're not making enough to meet that demand, so they're just gonna be like, oh well, this fucking GR Corolla Marzo just went up another $10,000, and we're all just gonna cry.
Because
but then
it's considered
somebody's
a
gonna buy
luxury
it.
item.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The manuals
Row
are the
your own
luxury items
gears.
now. Yeah.
Which I'm fine with that, actually. I'm fine with that as long as there's people out there that want it and it drives manufacturers to keep producing them. Like Toyota came out with a 6-speed Supra,
Yep, because
which we've been
pressure
clamoring
finally.
for.
Yeah.
That's the one reason that I was like, I don't want that. But now I'm like, oh, that's in the list of something I would want now again.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah. When it was automatic, that sucked. When it was only automatic.
I mean, it was
not even dual
fine,
clutch,
but
Yeah.
slush box.
Yeah. Torque converter.
But this, before I go into the rest of the article here, this links back to what you were saying when you were in Bosnia about like these figures. This 1.7% is very American.
Yeah. So, all of the cars that I drove in while I was there, whether it was family car like members or other cars that I saw on the road, they were like, I would say 80% were manuals, and I mean,
That's awesome.
it could have something to do with, it's a
Spilling beer. Remind me.
it's a lower income or a poorer country, so obviously, or it's cheaper to own one and take care of one. So that could have something to do with it, but it felt weird. Like, it didn't feel weird. It felt natural and normal, but like it was just like so eye-opening that like, hey, we're really the only place, like even in the rest of Europe, Germany, the UK, a lot of those places where a lot of car enthusiasts are from, there's tons of manuals still being driven and bought and sold and whatever. And it's just here, we just don't really have a need for it because we just have these giant, long straightaway roads that, yeah.
That's true. There's a lot of reasons I think America became automatic transmission, central. One, long straight roads. Two is just the perceived luxury of it. When automatic transmissions came out, that was like, this is keeping up with the Joneses thing. Like that was the luxury thing to have. So it's the same thing with lawns. That's how every American has a lawn now, is because it was a luxury thing in Europe that Americans adopted and wanted to be better.
And now we live in the desert and people have lawns.
Yes.
And if you think about like American automakers, I mean, that was like, look at Lincoln and Cadillac and Chrysler, and all the American automakers really did stem from a make life more comfortable mentality.
Yeah.
And so I think that just permeated all of the brands that are produced in the States. Versus like, you're going to go, if you live in Europe, yeah, maybe I'll go grab a Fiat because I got to get to work. I'm going to drive a Fiat Panda. Like, fuck it, it's easy.
I have driven a manual Fiat Panda.
Yeah, you've told me about that. You weren't too thrilled about it.
0.9 liter, man. You can't be too thrilled with that.
But I just think that's, look at the mentality of European automakers, Japanese like everywhere else in the world. People, I think, viewed transportation a lot differently than we did as Americans when car culture became what it is. And American automakers are to some extent, a cornerstone of that luxury item.
Yeah.
That mentality.
And here in America, because of, this is a tangent, but basically because of zoning laws, most people can't live in the neighborhood where they work or in the neighborhood where they shop. Like a car is a necessity here. So you're just going to spend time sitting in traffic to get to work. You're going to spend time sitting in traffic to go to the grocery store. And automatic's better for that.
Yeah, I mean, we all drive manual. And I just came into traffic on the highway on the way here. And it's just like, yeah, it's doable. But, man, it would have been a lot nicer and just automatic.
And stop and go?
And stop and go.
Yeah, it would have been a lot nicer.
So, like, I kind of get it. But I do think, too, in, like, Bosnia, like, quite frankly, manual transmissions are just more reliable. Yep. Yeah, you have a clutch that can wear out. Yeah. But as long as you're not an idiot, like the clutch in the Fiesta is at like almost 150,000 miles, and it's been tracked and everything. Like they can last.
Yeah.
Still going.
Still going. Yeah, as far as I know, knock on wood.
You just have to kind of change the fluid and keep going.
Yeah. And so that might be part of it too, because it's just less problems. And if you don't have a ton of money, you don't want to. I don't know if people are putting that much thought into it.
Yeah, my cousin had like a Mark I Golf that was manual, and we were driving around town, and he was just banging gears on that thing at the little like 1.8, and I was just like, dude, chill out. We don't need to be driving like this.
I'm weirdly interested in this Kia Sorento manual.
2022.
Yeah, like
Sportage.
Sorry, Kia Sportage. Yeah.
It looked different. It was like lower. It almost looked like the chassis from the EV6.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
Okay.
It was like, because I've seen a Sportage here, and it's like it rides higher. It's kind of taller. I don't know.
I didn't think it would be a different model.
Yeah, I'll have to get some photos together and we can compare. But it was nice on the inside. Like the interior was really nice. The like infotainment screen was gorgeous. I was very surprised. But it was a 1.6 from I think it's that normal like 1.6 that they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's like in the
Veloster. Gonna blow up.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't. I mean, for what it's worth, it didn't have any issues over there while I was driving it. But
it was brand new. So give it a couple more years.
Yeah, so we drove it.
I'll give it 6 months.
Your opinion of Hyundai has just not that it was great to begin with, but I feel like it's
never
plummeted.
great. But yeah, when I get just a little bit of evidence, it plummets.
But yeah, then the other things I wanted to bring up from the Drive article was they talked about how Cadillac with their CTS V4 and CTS 5V Blackwing, they have to build more manual cars to keep up with the demand. The demand exceeded their production quality.
Wow.
Production. Acura says 1 in 4 new Integras are spec'd out with a stick.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, but so it should be
It should be.
It should be more.
Yeah. It should
If
be
you're
all of
buying
them.
an Integra for Honda reasons.
Yeah, for Honda reasons. Maybe only 1 in 4 Integra buyers is a real Integra buyer.
Yeah.
Well,
and
to
not
be
an
fair,
Acura buyer.
70% of the reservations for the Integra were manuals. So the ones that are just selling off the lot are the automatics.
That
But
makes more
that makes
sense.
sense.
That's also
That's a good statistic.
Yeah.
That makes
But I
way
mean,
more
to me,
sense.
that shows accurate. Make more manuals. Put them on
Yeah.
the lot. Because the thing is, with a lot of these, you have to spec it out yourself, or you have to go order it.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to have a manual transmission on the lot. So somebody that wants to just go buy one is going to get stuck with an automatic. And some salesman's probably going to tell them it's faster in a straight line
Yeah.
because it has 18,000 gears or something. But
Well, they're trained to be
Well,
like,
they're
well, why
trying to
is
upsell
a
you 'cause it's
manual
more
important to you?
Yeah, it's more expensive, so it's an upsell to have the automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but in good news, I didn't know this. The Mazda Miata is no longer available with an automatic transmission.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
Why was
Awesome.
it ever?
I don't know.
That's valid. That is a valid question.
Old people.
Yeah, you do, and you know,
Hairdressers.
you
Damn
gotta-
it.
Yeah, like all the NCs, I feel like it's hard to find a manual NC.
Yeah.
Because by the time they got to that, they wanted to make it appeal to, those gray hair 55. I'm just going to cruise with the top down, you know.
Yeah.
But now it's very apparent that when the ND came back, I think they were more focused on what a Miata should be, and going forward, that makes me a happy Miata boy.
I view the NC as the dark time for the Miatas.
Yeah.
But it came turbocharged, right? Or supercharged?
NB.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
NB.
there was the
Oof.
Mazda Speed.
Yeah,
Right.
but it only had a 2-year production run because the factory burnt down.
Yeah, those would have been more of them.
But also, those turbo Mazda Speed motors couldn't really handle anything over what they came with, and so I think from a tuning perspective, a lot of people were
Well, they
I
had-
would rather have a NA.
I mean, the intercooler was like this big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it had like a T15 turbo on it.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the tiniest fucking turbo. So actually, if you take change out the turbo and the intercooler, you can get a decent amount of power out of them. But at that point, like you might as well just get a regular NB and turbo it yourself.
But I'd be happy just buying a Miata with torque from the factory.
Right, yeah.
Like, that sounds awesome.
I just mean the long blocks really couldn't handle anything over like 250, and they came with like 180s. So
Oh,
we were
okay.
like,
Yeah, but
How much do I
250
wanna
in a Miata,
spend?
man.
That's all you need.
I'd rather, and it'll come to fruition soon. But I think doing that with an NAK 24 is going to be way better.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Listen up, Mazda. No, I'm kidding.
The last thing from this article that I wanted to talk about or bring up was this little blurb that was at the bottom. Mazda and Porsche have both said their flagship sports cars, the Miata and 911 respectively, will always be powered by internal combustion, and that likely means manual.
Hell yeah.
Always.
Always.
Which means they're gonna die on that hill, right? Like,
right.
They'll be like, you have to change this to electric. All right, well, we're not making Miatas or 911s anymore. Get fucked.
Hey, but that means that we'll have used ones to buy for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Well, Porsche is working on the e-fuel, and
right.
also
already using it in racing.
yeah. And also Porsche is expensive enough that their customers can probably afford the crazy e-fuels. But that I do think that will spell the demise of the Miata at some point.
I don't know, because I feel like it's just such a staple in the motorsports world that I don't know if it can die.
How many
I
more
just-
generations of the Miata do you think we'll see?
One.
You think one more? Fifth gen and that's it?
In
E?
As an internal combustion engine,
yeah.
one. And then if they go back on this and decide to go electric, we'll see it continue. But
I don't know. I think I disagree with that. I really do.
So
I think by the time
you think we'll see a 6th gen?
I think we'll get a 6th gen, and I think by the time we do get a 6th gen, hopefully, just like everything else in the motorsports world and the high-end luxury car world, I do think everything, hopefully, maybe will trickle down from Porsche, or will make its way to, even if the Miata becomes less affordable but is still a more affordable option, I don't think it's going to go away. That's a foolish hope of mine, but I don't think it will.
You're saying some alternative fuel situation will kind of save internal combustion engines in the sense of either hydrogen or what is it?
yeah, either hydrogen or the e-fuel.
Yeah, or the e-fuel like situation where they're like, yeah, as long as you're not burning hydrocarbons, you guys can make as many ICE engines as you want. That's I kind of agree with that. I think that, not because I want that to happen, but I think it makes a lot more sense due to battery production constraints and costs, because
there just aren't
if you
enough
want people
materials.
fucking driving, you can't keep expecting people to $60,000 for a Hyundai.
Yeah, for a Hyundai.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if you get
That's
a
so
Kona EV,
stupid.
you're like 45.
Yeah.
So it's a really expensive.
What's the range on the Kona EV? Like
I'm
150 miles?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's under 300 miles. It's not a lot. But those are also $50,000 batteries. They're only shy of the Ioniq by about $5 or $6 grand.
It's just a software update.
Yeah, that's all they do now. That's the fucked up part. Is if a customer had come in with that problem, they would have updated the software to limp it till the end of the warranty and.
I have another theory about how I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot, but like, so let's say they do, like, all the governments are like, we're forcing everybody to make electric engines and whatever. I'm curious if we'll be able to still use it, like internal combustion engines on track, like off-road situations only.
So you think like after they've been banned from registration on the road, like how long will
like
we
cool?
be able to
Well, I'll
use
just
them?
tow it with my
with
Tesla
my Rivian. Yeah.
Ooh, when I went to, I forgot, sorry. I have to tell you this. So when I was going to High Plains last weekend, I saw the new Hummer, the electric one, towing a trailer. And I was like, this guy has to be going to High Plains because it was on that road. One road that goes to. And two like Formula 4 cars come out of the trailer, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like what? So anyway, that's what I think. That's what got me thinking about that. I was like
your electric trucks towing your race car.
Yeah, your race car. Yeah.
How big was the Hummer?
Oh, dude, it was massive, and I was actually really surprised by how slow it was going. Because it's not a big trailer, and those Formula cars are super tiny and they don't weigh anything. And so I was like, why is it going so slow?
The road?
Yeah,
Probably.
road
The road is absolutely atrocious.
That bad. I mean,
And it's not like that Hummer was designed to handle bumps and stuff.
dude, it's so big.
Was he just crab walking the
just
whole way?
It's so funny.
Diagonally towing the trailer.
It was huge. It looked so good. Like, anyway, sorry to
So
totally
it has a good presence. Like it looks cool.
It
on
looks
the road.
cool as hell.
Okay.
I mean, it's huge and it looks cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like them, but
Well, I don't like it either, but I was just like,
I wouldn't own one, but it'd be really fun to rent and use for something. Like I don't know
I do
what.
want to launch one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to feel that.
I want to crab walk
How does
one.
it feel to feel 10,000 pounds get to 60 in under 4 seconds?
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah.
It's like
A lot of
train.
physics that I don't want to think about. Actual physics.
So I got two things before we move on from this story. One was, I think what we're going to see in the future is a combination of everything we just talked about. I don't think the way humanity's going and the way the climate crisis is going, we don't have time for everybody to adopt electric. We don't have time or ability, or we don't have the money to make everybody do it. So we got to find ways to keep people mobile, keep people working, but also decrease emissions. So I think we're going to see, electric cars for like the rich, or just like city commuters. There's going to be electric cars, but I think there's going to be e-fuels, and I think there's going to be hydrogen. I think we're going to have all three, and it's going to be a bit of a clusterfuck. Like you're going to be like, oh man,
The infrastructure won't be there at the start.
Yeah,
The infrastructure
exactly.
isn't there to charge electric cars right now.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, well, I have hydrogen. Well, it's like, well, we only have e-fuel and an EV charger.
yeah. So
The next hydrogen guy is 2.5 miles that way. You're like,
That's going to create like a real kind of,
Wait, you don't
VHS Betamax type thing. Or
It's
like an 8-track and cassette. It's going to become just another industrial battle for what is going to be the standard.
And the
those
market
things will
will
exist
decide.
for a period of time, but I think ultimately all of those things combined will be like a solution, and then the market will dictate. The market's going to dictate what they continue with.
well,
gonna
let's
be
think
like
about how
HD,
it is now, right? I mean, you've got diesel, you've got ethanol, you've got petroleum. There's CNG cars, right? Clean natural gas cars.
Yep.
Well, not a lot.
Not a lot, but
Yeah, but a lot of
Still a
fleets are
thing.
CNG.
yeah, I would say
Yeah.
buses,
Yeah.
garbage
UPS.
trucks, UPS.
So-
Oh yeah, the UPS trucks. Yeah.
We currently kind of have that, just in a different iteration.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, we have electrics that are starting to really take off. And
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just gonna have a lot of different variation. I do think at some point, like it seems like electrics is winning the war of the DVD HD or
Which is funny.
Blu-ray HD DVD battle, if you will.
Because like that, like the Betamax VHS argument, Betamax was a better product.
Right.
But VHS was marketed better.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where we are with EVs right now, because they've got better press.
They do.
I mean, it could be, but it could also be where Betamax was also way more expensive than VHS. And I think that's where electric's going to stall out a little bit in there, because people can't afford a $60,000 Hyundai.
No. And that's the Hyundai. That's like the bottom end of the market.
Right. And I mean, I'm sure eventually we're going to get to that, that mythical $30,000 Model 3 from Elon. But eventually, someday,
With
10
crank
years
windows.
after, 10 years after the Cybertruck comes out, crank windows.
I think it would be more expensive to produce crank windows at this point than to just get motors.
You know what they would do? They'd have a crank with a sensor on the other end, and then an electric motor, so that way your crank isn't actually.
Sorry, you didn't pay your Windows subscription fee for the month. You're gonna have to do this yourself.
You don't get any fresh air.
No AC, no. Oh,
We're
dude.
gonna bake you out until you pay us.
Climate control. We are climate control.
All right. Moving on to our last little story, if you will, before we get on to our game in the second half, which might be a longer episode than I expected. I don't know when this came out, but I just saw it. It's the 2023 entry list for the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. And the reason I saw it was because of the first entry that I saw on there that I think is going to be an amazing thing to watch is the Ford Supervan 4.
Okay, wait. This is an electric car.
This is an electric car.
After all of this shit
But this is the
talking.
race that electric cars do well on.
Yeah.
True.
This is what electric cars are good at.
I would argue
sprints.
that all races electric cars are going to beat.
Endurance racing.
Yeah.
that's
Unless you
good.
can quick swap the battery.
Wasn't there an electric Audi in Dakar?
In the rally?
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
They did. So they've been doing
by
these
some.
desert races, but they're short sprint races. But I have no idea about the Dakar thing.
Okay, we'll circle back.
Well, yeah, we'll have to
Keep
look at
going.
it.
This thing's amazing.
Yeah.
No,
talk
if you
about it.
haven't heard of the Supervan 4, this came out like a year ago. But it is a fully functioning van, electric van. Makes about 2,000-ish horsepower. Because why not?
Right.
And it's continuing on the tradition of the Supervan, which Ford has had this tradition of putting a van body on a race car and going and doing stupid shit with it.
If you have Forza Motorsports, you can play this with the Supervan. You can
3.
buy it.
Supervan 3, or does the first one?
I don't know. It's like whatever the European looking little tiny thing is.
Okay, because this is Supervan 4. The first one was a like European style van body with like round headlights that they put on a GT40 chassis because that was ridiculous.
Wow.
Supervan 2 was
I think it's the 3.
like a Euro style van. Supervan 2 nobody really paid attention to that. It was on like a touring car chassis. And then Supervan 3 had a Formula 1 engine in it.
Yeah, it's got to be the
So
3.
that's the one everybody fucking loves.
And this is 4?
This is 4.
And so this is on a Mach-E chassis.
This is just a standalone. They made this is a
So
one-off.
is this like is this going to be a Ford manufacturer entry? Like this isn't some guy? That's pretty cool. 'Cause they weren't there last.
Ford's just starting to get back into everything, guys.
Ford's getting back into F1. They're doing Pikes Peak, and I think they're going to do good because they have Romain Dumas as their driver.
Who set the record?
Yeah, who is
the
the
current
record
record
holder.
holder?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the Volkswagen IDR. So,
Oh, no.
That is really awesome.
yeah. I can't wait to see this go up the mountain and just see this giant van silently just zoom on by.
It doesn't look
just
that big.
tire
It
roar,
actually
and
looks
that's
really
it.
small.
It's the size of a regular Sprinter van, or not Sprinter van, but whatever the Ford van is.
The transit van.
Transit, yeah. So, I mean, as you can see from the hole in the back, like it's a van, but it's not a van. Like there's no cargo
It's
room
like a
back there.
truck van thing.
It would be cool if they just put like one bouquet of flowers or something in the back so it delivers something.
Right, they have to deliver.
Yeah.
They should
Giant
go
stuff
first and
there.
deliver the donuts to the top of the mountain
I like that.
because all the drivers get
that's-
donuts when they get up there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Genius.
Ford, hire me. Come on, what are we doing here?
Wow, you're asking Ford for a job. Whew.
If I can do the motorsports stuff, yes. If I have to work on their cars, maybe not so much.
You'll always have work.
This is true. Fixing Raptor R's and their oil leaks. Then I just want to go down some other cool shit that's going to be going up the mountain that I saw on the list. Exomotive is bringing back their Apexo set, which is a Miata-based kit car. That
Horrible name.
It is, but I get what they were going for with that. But they raced up a few years ago, but they haven't been back, and I guess they've done a bunch of work to this thing, and they're going to be back with that. I just think that's cool because it's basically a Miata
with an insane aero.
Yeah. Tube frame.
Can you imagine having that much downforce?
We're only 3 months away from the next one. I feel like we were just talking about the last one.
That is wild. It does feel like we just talked about it.
This one, I'm super excited to see this car in person. It is the Radford Lotus Type 62-2. This one's going to be driven by Tanner Faust.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
cool.
dude.
600 horsepower, is based on a Lotus Evora. Tuned up. They did such a good job with that thing. I just want to stand next to it. That's all I want. I don't even care if I see it run up. That is such a gorgeous car.
Yeah, and I like how everybody else did pictures of it on a mountain, and they're like, no, this looks good in a parking garage.
Well, I had to pull pictures, so it was on the list, but I didn't see any actual official announcement of it. So, and then a really weird one that I wanted to talk about, and that was Discord popping up. Oh, no. Yes. Oh, I didn't put a picture in it. Did I? No. Okay. Well, I don't have a picture of it for some reason, but somebody's gonna be driving a Rivian RT1 up the mountain.
Oh, that's cool.
Is it like
Like
for
prepped?
racing purposes or just
They're gonna be. It's an exhibition class. It is Gardner Nichols, who is apparently a senior performance test engineer for Rivian, but this is not a factory-backed thing. This quote from Rivian, it says, "At Rivian, employees are encouraged to pursue adventure both inside and outside of work. Rivian isn't a sponsor or affiliate of the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. This participant is a passionate employee using their own vehicle on their own time for an epic adventure, and we can't wait to see how it goes." So
That sounds like if something fucked up happens, we have nothing to do with it. That's what that
It's
is.
really interesting. So, do we have is it like souped up? What?
no, that's I couldn't find any more information about it. Just that it is entered, and it seems he's just a privateer, so he's just.
We're gonna walk into the pits and there's just gonna be this like Rivian sitting there, just normal.
Which is funny because there were Rivians parked outside the pits last time. We might just mistake it for
Right,
a
just
truck that's just there.
Just a crew truck, yeah. I mean, it's going to have all the safety equipment,
Yeah.
But I'm curious if he's going to do anything with the suspension or if he's just going to put some slicks on it and run it. Like,
I'd be interested to know what it can do for
Right?
that. Like,
they seem to be pretty damn quick.
they're
so-
quick. I watched one leave me behind on the highway the other day. Yeah, silently just.
Yeah,
Gone.
a Ford Lightning did that to me at the stoplight the other day. Just like launched it in front of me, and it was just like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, that shouldn't be that
It was
fast.
a quick truck.
Yeah. And then last one I have a picture of anyways is it's a 1990 Toyota Starlet EP82 driven by Japanese driver Satoshi Yagi. I don't know if it's actually this one, but this car ran up Pikes Peak about 5 years ago, maybe less than that. And I can't imagine being too many other Starlets that are going to be hill climb monsters. And I don't know how well this is going to come across in the podcast. Maybe we'll have to edit it in. But there is a video of this thing racing in.
Is it rear wheel drive?
Yeah.
Yep, those old Starlets are rear-wheel drive hatchbacks.
And you said it's an NA4AGE, right?
Well, that's not what they come with, but I think that's what's in this one. Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a 4AC from the factory, I believe. But yeah, 10,500 RPM, 4AGE.
Oh.
This guy's gonna have more fun than anyone else on the mountain.
Right?
You can't find an 86 Corolla? Here's your alternative, kids.
I almost like Starlets more than Corollas just because they are smaller and I like how it's like a legit tiny hatchback.
They're super popular in the islands, like in the Caribbean. That's like
The
a
front of
huge
it looks like an old Civic.
Stop the video.
It looks like an old Civic.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, like an
the-
old CVCC or
Yeah.
even a EF or something like that. Like old
EF
boxy
with
ones.
round headlights.
Yeah. So some other notable entries include a GR Corolla, 2 new Integras, BMW M8, and the new BMW XM Redline, which is the X5 basically with 735 horsepower.
Wow.
So, and Robin Shute, the champion or the guy who set the fastest time the last 3 years in a row in that little open the little prototype car.
The guy with
powered by the Honda engine.
he's got a K series of Skunk 2 intake manifold, right?
Yeah. He's coming back this year, but he's driving an Aston Martin GT3 car.
Ooh.
So
he got noticed.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he got it's factory backed, I believe.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is his name? Wow, my brain. Stig. Paul Girard. He's driving an Evo, I think.
Oh, is he now?
Okay.
Because he didn't have a car but I saw him post on Facebook that there's going to be an Evo.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
That is
an Evo 7.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I'm always excited to see old Japanese cars still running up the mountain.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to play our freaking little game and see what cars we want to rent, keep, or crush. Right? Yes, that's what.
Rent, keep, crush.
All right. Be right back.
Bye.
All right, and we are back from our break. These episodes are going too long. We're drinking beer, so we need bathroom breaks now.
Yes.
Hopefully you heard an ad. That would be super cool.
Yeah.
But now it is time to play Fuck, Marry, Kill. I mean Rent, Keep, Crush.
Right.
I can officially say fuck now. We are past that time in the YouTube algorithm.
Right. As long as you don't say kill.
So I'm going to get us started. Now, there's a ton of ways we could do this game, and I like this because we can keep doing it more and more. You can pick 3 cars that are kind of similar, like if you want to do R32, R33, R34, or you can pick some just random cars, doesn't matter. I'm going to start us off, even though this is a car enthusiast podcast, I want to make this a hard decision and hard thing to debate. So my 3 cars are Nissan Juke, base model CVT, no Nismo edition.
Okay.
Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet, and the Nissan Kicks.
Ooh.
Which is really just
You got a lot of crap there.
like a next-gen Juke renamed.
Is there manual kicks?
No,
I was going to say,
Everything's automatic.
everything's CVT.
when you said cross tour, I was like, well, of course I'm going to crush that. But then you said kicks.
I know.
Have you ever driven a Juke?
I have. And I'd take a Juke over either one of those.
I don't think a Juke's that bad.
I hated it. I drove one for a long time because Whitney had one. And
Yeah.
I didn't. Well, the Veloster was exploded. Okay, sorry. Go on.
No. So the way I did mine is I would own the Juke. I don't think the Juke is. The CVT sucks, but I'm like, at least it makes a little bit of horsepower. I would. Man, you know what? No, I take this back. Because the rent part is more like take it to a track.
Right.
That's what I'm
to
going
thrash
for.
it.
Thrash
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So you're going to own one, you're going to take one to a track, and you're going to crush one. So I guess I'm going to take the Juke to the track because that makes the most sense. I guess I'm going to own the Murano Cross Cabriolet.
You got to let that hair.
Hair flowing in the wind. I mean, at least I can try to go up in the mountains and hit some dirt roads with the top down. I'd make the best of it, you know?
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
But I hate the kicks on such a deep level that I cannot fathom why they exist. It's such a shitty vehicle, and it makes no horsepower.
I mean, you got a Murano Cross Tour Cabriolet in there that shouldn't exist either.
It at least has like a VQ, and it has a gimmick of being a convertible SUV. Like, it's trying something.
It's trying too many things.
But the kicks is just like, oh, we need a small SUV too, huh? Just pen up whatever and just shove it out the fucking door. Like,
I mean, technically, that's a convertible.
true. I mean, yeah, if we're talking this, I'd much rather take the Land Cruiser, of course. But
Just pop that top
just take
right
the roof off,
It just
yeah.
comes up.
you know what? I take it back. I'd track the Cross Cabriolet. I would keep the Juke. Fuck the kicks.
It's got a VQ.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It does have a VQ. That's a good motor. I loved the marketing campaign for the kicks because it showed a Gen Zer wearing headphones walking through a parking garage, and then his headphones transformed into the car around him. which it shows how they're trying to get Gen Zers to buy cars because they don't care as much. It's like, look, it's a cool accessory. It's like a music accessory. It hooks to your phone. And I think that's hilarious. And I would laugh every single time I got in it. So I think I'd own the Kicks just so I could explain, just so I'd be like, this thing is so bad. Let me tell you about it. And I get to tell everybody about it. I'd crush the Cross Tour because I want one fewer of those
Cross Cabriolet
in existence.
Let's get this straight. The Cross Tour.
Oh, you're right. That's the Accord. Right, that's the Accord station wagon. So I'd crush the Murano Cross Cabriolet because I want fewer of those in existence, and I feel like I'm doing service to the world by getting rid of that.
Well, see, if I track it, it's possible I'm also going to crash it. So I'm doing a favor.
There you go.
Here. Hopefully I don't kill myself in the process, but honestly, if I have to drive a Murano Cross Cabriolet, I might want to die.
You might, yeah. Like, well, I had to drive this here. A bunch of people looked at me and laughed. I don't know. My self-esteem's really low.
Is the Cross Tour Cabriolet our Morris Marina? Like if we were Top Gear people?
Yeah, I think
it might be. I think it is.
Can we make it?
The Murano Cross Cabriolet
Which
is
means
our...
one day we can get one and just hit it with a hammer for fun on camera.
Oh my god, let's go in.
I'm pretty sure we could get one right now without the big budget. Like we could just, like there's a pull and pay.
Well, you know those tops are really rare and like $10,000 to $15,000 to replace.
What?
So yeah. Jason was he had one sitting at the shop for like a year and a half because they were waiting on one from Japan, like a new top.
From Japan?
Yeah.
They sell those in Japan?
Yeah, they still make them apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Who is driving those in Japan? Dude, I need to. There has to be a subculture of Cross Cabriolet.
There's
gotta be.
We were talking about like the Facebook page here in America, the like Maki Facebook page, but there is probably a JDM Cross Cabriolet scene that might be fucking cool. I don't know. The Japanese can make anything cool.
They made vans cool.
Yeah, Dajiban.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, we had a fucking Dajiban in the shop the other day, and I just went outside, and I'm just screaming, Dajiban! Dajiban! And like, everyone's like, what the fuck is this new guy who's been here 5 days screaming on this old... And like, there's one, our GS, his name is Wong, and he wears like a Wangin fucking hat every day.
Oh yeah, he got it.
Yeah, so he immediately was like, oh, he didn't know about Dajiban racing, but like, he knew that I was emulating like... being that guy.
Yeah.
But so then I went and showed every tech in the shop, like, look, they race fans in Japan. But yeah, anyway, all right, total tangent. Dajiban!
It's fun when you have to explain that stuff to people. You're like, I'm really excited about this, and I understand you do not know.
Exactly what it was.
I'm not expecting you to be excited. I'm just going to give you some context here, so I'm not a little crazy.
Oh my god.
Do you have one more?
Oh, the Juke. I would track the Juke because it's got the turbo. It drives kind of like a lifted GTI with a bad transmission in this case. And, I didn't think about it, but yeah, given all these choices, wrecking any of them on a track is an appealing
Yeah, that's true.
prospect.
Oh, wait, we have to then do yours, like how we would...
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Sorry. I was unclear on the rules of the game.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't make the rules very clear. I'm just winging this. I don't know.
I was like, why are all of yours the same?
I could give you 3 others, but then we'll be debating 12 cars by the end of it.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll just go because we're going down the line. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Sorry. Okay.
I yield my time.
Oh, God, this is horrible.
I know, that's why I picked him.
It was a good 3.
Right?
Yeah.
Since I've driven a Juke, and I guess it has a turbo, if you try really hard.
In theory, it has a turbo.
I guess I would thrash or track that one. This is the worst. I would have to crush the Cross Cabriolet. I just can't. I hate it. And then, oh God,
You're stuck dailying the Kicks.
This is the worst. This is like.
Yeah, because that's the thing with this game. You could really play it as like, oh, this is a hard one. Which one would I want? Like, which one would I crush? They're all so great. Or it's like, I don't want any of this.
Which one would make me want to kill myself the least?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I have nothing more to say about that.
Consensus?
I hate to say it. I hate to even say it. No, I'm changing it right now. I'm keeping the Juke because it's probably the most tolerable.
Fair.
I am crushing the Cabriolet for sure because we have to, right? By Morris Marina rules, we have to crush it.
We have to get rid of it.
And then I'm gonna track the kicks because it's probably the lightest and the smallest.
Yeah, true.
And that's right in my wheelhouse.
That's cool logic.
That's
I like
how
that.
I'm gonna do that.
Ooh, is our Juke front wheel drive then? It's not the all wheel drive? Did they all come base with all wheel drive and then only the Nismo was front wheel drive? How did they...
So you can only get the manual
were only in front wheel drive.
Yeah.
But we have a CVT.
What?
Yeah, but we have a CVT, so it could be all wheel drive.
It's Nissan shooting themselves in the foot again.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if the Juke came out with a manual all-wheel drive, he'd be like, it looks weird, but it is turbocharged all-wheel drive and a manual.
And there have been some cool...
Which that's all it takes to have a popular car in Colorado.
Yeah.
Not objectively cool. You have to squint really hard, but some of those like modified ones. Whatever.
Do they still look like frogs?
I'm a Veloster Turbo owner, so I can't.
When the Juke came out,
Veloster was more attractive looking than the Juke. Those
Same
frog
engine
eyes.
size.
It always looks like it wants to leap.
Oh, the up on top. Yeah.
I don't want to admit that I like the Juke. But
I kind of like the Juke.
Have you guys seen that Juke R that they did?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
GTI drivetrain.
that was cool.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, if we're putting that in there, then I'm taking that one for sure.
course.
But
They did that. Did you see the clip of it racing supercars in
I think I
the
did,
UAE?
yeah,
Yeah, and they made like a track with a bunch of low speed corners that were really tight, so the Juke had the advantage because of its wheelbase, so it was kicking all their asses.
guess what they didn't do that with? The Cabrio crap, whatever. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Murano Cross Cabriolet.
There you go.
It's French.
You gotta put a little French on it. Yeah.
It's funny. I used to think the
Tell you that's
Chrysler
fancy.
Sebring was the ugliest convertible ever made, and
mean, at
then
least-
that came out.
At least the Chrysler Sebring was a 3G Eclipse.
Was it?
Yeah.
Tyrese would have loved that shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The Sebring and Sebring convertible were 3G Eclipses.
I did not know
I
that.
just watched it. I just remember.
He did the steer and drive on you.
Those
You
chrome
never
wheels were
hear
so tacky.
Brian say "cuh" in any of the other movies, and then he
Pockets ain't empty, cut.
says it like 1,000 times, and I'm like, wait, are we establishing the?
Is this part of his vocabulary? Is this canon?
He's code switching. It's fine.
Is he? So my question is he like making fun of him the entire time? Is that the joke, or like?
I mean,
I'm
given
sorry.
the future of Tyrese's character in the series, yes, I would.
yes, I do.
Which is
Yeah.
hilarious because Tyrese is the only one who's figured out he's in an action movie.
All right, sorry.
All right, we need to keep going before this episode's 2 hours long.
All right, so
Chris, I need your three.
I'll do three. Let's see: E92 BMW M3, Mercedes C63 AMG, and Audi RS4.
Oh.
Those are all fancy.
Well, yeah, but you got to pick one to crush.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go over them again real quick.
So E92 BMW M3,
Okay.
the Mercedes C63 AMG, and the Audi RS4. Yeah.
I'm crushing the RS4.
Wow.
I know, I just don't like Volkswagen and Audi products. I'm sorry. I'm dailying the Mercedes, and I'm tracking the BMW.
Oh, wow. I'm dailying the RS4.
Okay.
I'm crushing the Mercedes, and I'm tracking the BMW.
You're crushing the Mercedes.
Yes, because there's
What?
no clutch pedal.
Yeah, but the Mercedes is the best daily.
Well, yeah, but I'm a little bit masochistic, and I'm willing to suffer for
And that
through
Audi's gonna-
Is that
traffic.
the same one that?
Yeah, Top Gear did this comparison.
No. The E60, the Mercedes. Is that the same one that Jess had?
Hers was an S class, I think,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's the same motor,
yeah.
but it's the smaller one, the C class.
Yeah, because that has the
Because I think
the
her.
Super-
The one that Chris had.
Is that the,
No,
is that
wait,
the
did
Super
you-
Didn't they both have S classes?
Maybe.
I think it was an NA 6.2 liter because I remember
okay, yeah.
I remember they
It's a
called
big
it the
V8.
C63, but the engine was a 6.2, even though there were 6.3
such a
numbers
good
all over
engine.
the car.
The RS4 is it's going to be broken in the shop half the time.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a $15,000 timing job.
Yeah.
engine out timing job, but when it works, it's just so awesome. Like they said, they're saying it's like one of the best motors Audi ever made when it works.
when it works.
When
yeah.
it works, yeah.
The
But
Mercedes just works, and the BMW has the best chassis dynamics in my opinion.
yeah, that's why I track the BMW.
Yeah.
and
So
since
we're
we
on-
live in
we're on
Colorado,
the same page there. Yeah.
Since we live in Colorado, I'd love the all-wheel drive for the RS4 daily, but
Yeah.
I'm a three-pedal purist, So I have to crush the Mercedes.
Fair enough. All right. Hamza, what are your picks on that?
Man, yeah, I can't really think of any better reasons than that. Like, I crush the Mercedes. I have like a bad taste in my mouth because that's why I brought up Jess and Chris.
Yeah.
I just like
It's a
I used to
personal
really
thing.
like, and like if somebody was like, here's a U63 wagon or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
So every time you see like a nice Mercedes now, you just think about the
PTSD.
dyes. I can only imagine, man. I worked
It's
there
just
for a
white.
few
It's just the
months.
white
How long did
ones.
you work there?
2 years.
Yeah, I can't. That is some serious emotional trauma.
So yeah, I would just crush it on that principle alone. And definitely track the BMW.
That's the V8 one.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
High revving.
Yeah.
and then
8300.
Yeah.
Well, once again, I
I
wouldn't want to daily that because that V8 is pretty notoriously not reliable.
8 miles a gallon too. So
That too.
8 to 10.
Oh yeah, the
Sorry, we're
Mustang got me
derailed
the gas
your picks.
mileage.
no. This is good because I don't have a lot to say about them. But yeah, and then the RS4 is such a cool
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, and that timing pattern is so infamous. If you go into Prestige in Lakewood, they have a black and white framed photo of the timing
Really?
pattern of that engine sitting just in their customer area.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because it's so convoluted.
Yeah, it's convoluted and it's on the transmission side.
Yep.
And so you have to pull the engine and buy like $5,000 to $10,000 in timing guides and components and chains, and then pay someone who knows what they're doing to put the jigsaw puzzle together.
Aaron?
I'm going to crush the Mercedes. I know.
Y'all suck.
No, I don't. I've never felt at home in any Mercedes I've ever sat
God,
in,
I
and maybe
fucking love Mercedes.
maybe it's a Holocaust thing. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know. I'm just kidding.
All three of which were involved directly.
You know, I don't know. I just wanted to open with that. It wasn't my
We
favorite
get it.
choice.
You're a Jew.
Yeah, I know.
One of which that hasn't changed their logo really.
One of which built Luftwaffe planes.
Well, I'm going to keep the Audi. And I know we were talking about BMW with the logo, but I'm definitely tracking the E92. That's a no-brainer. We live in Colorado, so I'm keeping the Audi. I think it's a pretty, I just really don't like Mercedes that much, like at all. Like nothing is appealing to me about anything Mercedes.
They feel so like that's what the biggest difference for me when I'm getting a BMW or a Mercedes. BMWs feel smaller than the car actually is while you're driving it. Feels more like a go-kart. Mercedes feel bigger. Like they designed the car so you'd feel like you had a presence when you showed up. But it's like I don't care about that. I just want
I love
the car
the
to
engine.
feel good.
I
The
get
engines
the
are
idea.
fantastic.
It's a muscle car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
It is a
that. It's
muscle
insane. Like a twin turbo in some cases, right? Twin turbo
yeah.
6.2. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like what? But then, like one of the things that when I drove in Jess's car, she had like it has like massage. That one does
Yeah.
it. But I was like, this is so dumb. Like I would like I've
No.
Why would I-
The massaging, heated, cooled seats are the best fucking thing in the world. I'm working my ass off all day. Mercedes comes in. I got to test drive it. I'm like, I got like 5 minutes of bliss right now.
You just go on these test
I'm not
drives
gonna feel my
just to
back
get a
pain.
massage. That's great.
I don't know, man. I feel like the Audi is like such a good mountain kind of car for where we live. Everything about that appeals more to me as a daily for where we live.
My thing is, I have never driven a Volkswagen Audi manual that the manual feels good to me. In my opinion, their manuals just don't feel good.
You don't like my manual? You don't want to play with my stick?
I'll play with your stick. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not going to like it.
Well, I'm gonna like it.
That has to be a TikTok.
Oh, there's our clip from the episode.
Playing with Hamza's stick.
But and Mercedes to me are just like I want a Mercedes. I want an S Class personally, not.
So you want full on the flagship luxury car.
Dude, you're riding in an S Class, especially like with the big V8, and you got the logo popping off the hood there, and I'm just like, this is it. If you're driving just to drive somewhere, you're not performance driving. It's not a performance car. it's the best fucking car.
Even though it'll still walk like 90%.
While you're chilling, getting a massage.
Yeah, exactly. Listening to house music, getting a massage, blowing the doors off some Civic.
Beat intensifies.
No, they're cool, man. My friend owns like a performance Mercedes shop, and they're badass. Like, it's something I've never connected with.
Yeah. No, it seems like most enthusiasts connect more with BMW than Mercedes, for sure. And I will admit, BMW is more of the performance-oriented car. That's why I would track it.
Driving machine.
The ultimate driving machine.
Yeah. But I could not agree on owning the Audi. You know me, I'm not a Volkswagen Audi guy, so.
I remember in Aspen when they'd come in, you're like, this is Chris's problem.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep. Nope. That's why I'm excited about you possibly getting a GR Corolla instead of the GTI, because I'm like, Toyotas, I know those.
It would be 12 months out.
Yeah.
At best.
At best.
With a $1,500 deposit that you can't. It's not
non-refundable,
and it's not guaranteed. So
It's not
unless
guaranteed?
you walk in there and buy one outright, you just say, I'm going to buy one, and then you can only get whatever the allocation is. You can't build one.
Like no say on options, color,
Nope.
anything. Okay.
It's just whatever it is. It's insane. But you do
It's
get
a
it
gotcha pod thing
yeah,
of
but you-
GR Corolla.
Yeah,
You put your money in, and what do you get? Who knows? What color? What options?
What comes out? Could be a Camry.
We don't know. Not even a Corolla. Or what was I going to say? You get it. It's whatever their allocation is, and then I don't know. Sorry, you're gonna have to cut that out.
So $1,500, and you're not guaranteed to even get the car.
If you just do the deposit, if you go in and buy, that's what I was gonna say. You do get it at MSRP. If you buy it out, like if you just go there and buy it. So
There is that.
So
Okay.
I asked about that. I was like, "What's the markup?" And he's like, "We can't do that." And I was
Good.
like,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's good news, honestly.
And that was Stap Toyota right off of I-25 up here.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop, Toyota. Give us a fucking Corolla, Toyota.
All right, we're gonna skip you, Hamza.
No, I'll go.
You got it?
I got it. I
Okay.
figured it out.
Okay,
God,
cool.
All right,
I
so I'm
don't
gonna do like Japanese economy base model hatchbacks, current generation. So Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, the shitty one, and then the Mazda 3.
Ooh,
I love it.
that is okay. All right.
All right, so for me, track the Civic.
Okay.
It's easy. I think that's easy. And most of these come with manuals except for the.
I think they all do.
Yeah, I think they all do. Yeah,
You can get-
I'm
you can
iffy
get
on
a-
the Mazda. I don't know if the
What's
Mazda.
the power plant in the Mazda?
I think they have a turbo little motor now, like the brand new ones.
Yeah, because I saw an all-wheel drive turbo Mazda 3 the other day.
Oh, that's new.
Okay.
That doesn't come with it. That's an automatic.
Yeah, it was an automatic, but I was just like, oh, that's really cool because it even had like a little whale tail STI style wing on the back, and I'm like, what is this thing?
Yeah, that's no. I'm just talking about like the economy shit. It might even come with roll up windows. I don't know, just like the lowest base that you could get.
Because the Civic, does the base model have the 1.5 turbo, or is it
Yeah,
NA?
I think they all have the 1.5 turbo.
Yeah, Civic will have a 1.5 turbo. The Corolla is just going to have like a 1.6, I believe, NA. And I'm trying to figure out, while you guys talk, what the Mazda 3 comes with currently.
Yeah, so it would be.
Well, it says 2022 Mazda 3 horsepower, 191 to 227.
That's turbo numbers.
Those are definitely turbo motors.
or 2.5, right?
Well, to make that much more torque than power.
Oh, that's true. Well, anyway, so I would track the Civic daily or keep the Corolla and crush the Mazda. But
Crush the Mazda.
not because I don't like
Poor
Mazda,
Mazda.
I think they're hideous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I think
Is that
they look
weird?
good.
Yeah, no, I think the new Mazda 3 looks good.
I don't
Yeah.
like how they look. I don't like the weird, like, I don't know. It's like
The nature anime design.
yeah, it's weird.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Okay, all right, yeah, I agree. I do. Yeah, now that I'm picturing it, I do.
I like
agree
the
that it's
Mazda
pretty
3
ugly.
personally.
The front looks good, but the back. It's like all these automakers, I mean, and the Civic is in this category too. All these automakers, the front of the cars look great, and then it's like they gave up at the B pillar.
It
They're
seems like the
no.
back end looks the same on a lot of these, right?
I just don't like how that's all like a semi-hatchback, but like, we still want it to look cool, so they give it a little dip. It's fucking weird.
Well, that's what drives me crazy. So I saw that 11th gen Type R, and they're like, "Yeah, it's a hatchback." And I'm like, "That's not a hatchback. That's like a fastback at best." Like, because it slopes back, and then it goes, Like it has a little pop out.
Like an Audi A7?
Yeah. And I mean, you guys saw it in the photos. Like, it's huge. That's not a hatchback. When I park my GTI next to it, it's like a half a car longer. I was like, what
this is a hatchback. Hatchbacks end abruptly.
just go. They just end. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, apparently I have no internet, so I can't look it up. But it looks like, either way, with 191 horsepower, whatever engine that is, personally, I would keep the Toyota. That's my daily. It's a Toyota Corolla. I love Toyota Corollas. As a daily, it's the best daily ever, as far as just like whatever goes. The hard choice though is which one to put on the track for me. I love Mazda chassis is the thing.
Yeah, they handle really, really well.
Mazda chassis dynamics are so good.
Even like the old cheap Mazda 2s.
Yeah.
You could just throw them in the corners.
Dude, my Fiesta is a Mazda 2. It's the same chassis.
Oh, is it? Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
You mean it's a Mazda also, or no?
Yes.
The other thing that I don't like about Mazda, what they're doing right now, is they're trying to pass themselves off as like this luxury brand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you? It's a Mazda.
They should have kept with the sporty brand.
I just don't buy into. I don't think they'll be able to hang on to the luxury brand. I think eventually they'll give up on that.
Mazda's been through a lot of identity crises in their years. I think I would track the Mazda and crush the Civic. It's not a decision I take lightly, but that's, I think, where I would wind up.
Well, yeah, because you wouldn't want to send any of these to the crusher on a perfect day.
Right.
So this is an option, but a 2.5-liter turbo engine is available and offers up to 250 horsepower and 320 pound-foot of torque.
Oh.
So if we do that,
Is that a
all-wheel
speed
drive. Nope.
Wow, really?
It's like an option.
It's kind of a Mazda speed, but they're just not calling it a Mazda speed.
Yeah, that's a reason
Mazda,
not to
what are
buy
you
a
doing?
WRX.
it definitely zooms.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, we're just gonna play it.
Zoom.
Well, wait, we need that just as a. I need to clean one of that.
Zoom.
There we go.
That's
That's your ASMR.
Be like the kid from the commercial and have giant ears.
What?
Hey, you don't remember the kid from that commercial? His ears stuck out like this far.
Why are you making fun of the
Because he
kid?
had to listen to the whisper.
Yeah,
Is
that
what
must
it
have
was?
been it.
All right. Well, what would your picks be?
I would track the Mazda because the chassis dynamics are great. I'd daily the Honda.
Okay.
And I think I'd crush the Toyota because that's the only one coming to the game without boost.
Yeah, that's fair. It's definitely the slowest of the three.
Yeah, and then
sure.
for reliability's argument, you can't say anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a coin flip on a Honda or a Toyota.
Right,
So
but
all of
I
the
would say
Mazdas
that
come
an
with the
NA
2.5.
Toyota would probably run longer without maintenance than a turbo Honda,
Probably.
even a factory turbo Honda.
I've already had to put a turbo on a 1.5.
Really?
Yep.
So the turbo just bit the dust?
Yeah.
Wow.
These things happen. Even the best of them.
At least it's not a pattern.
Right?
I'm going to track the Civic. I'm going to keep the Mazda, and I'm going to crush the Toyota.
Oh, okay.
I obviously love Toyotas, but Toyota interiors never really made me feel like they were anything special. Even like you sit in a comparable year Civic and a Corolla, and I always feel like the Civic felt more refined. The chassis to me always felt more refined. I definitely want a Honda on track because who wouldn't? And I think with how much power he just told me the Mazda makes, I'd rather that would be more for just chilling on the road. 250 would kind of surprise some people. And so yeah, that's my choice.
Yeah.
I will say Mazda interiors have just never impressed me. Mazda interiors suck. For one thing, like all the CX-5s that come in, the start button is behind the wiper stalk. You have to reach up and around the wiper stalk to hit the start button. You can't, if you're sitting in the driver's seat, you cannot see it.
Wow.
It's the stupidest placement
Yeah,
for
that's
that
a weird design.
I've ever seen.
Wonder how many people have I wonder if the multifunction switch breaks on that more
Just,
often.
snap.
Because everybody's always reaching past the.
Those are very big American palm.
I need to turn on the Mazda.
Where is the button?
After a night of drinking, you get on the road,
All right, we need to wrap
Police
this
pull
up.
you over because your wipers are on.
He goes stuck on. I can't do anything about it. No, we need to wrap this up. Aaron, we need your 3 vehicles.
Just based on the categories we've been through, I'm going to say all brand new. all manual transmission. We're going to go with a Miata. We're going to go with a Z, and we're going to go with a Supra.
Ooh.
Those are the three choices.
Okay, the Miata's a bit outclassed here.
It is.
But
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But I left it in there for a reason, and I said all manual for a reason. I was trying to think because, I mean, Supra and Z are obviously in the same class. But I don't think there's really any other powerful FR roadster type or sports car type things that belong with those two cars that are made right now. I couldn't think of a third one.
Not without stepping out of the Japanese.
GT86.
I didn't want to double down
But
on
when you said
Toyotas
Mazda,
either.
when you said the Miata, I thought that was going to be the number 2. Was the 86?
I thought about going that way, but I'm enamored with the new Z and the manual Supra. So,
Yeah.
Personally in those categories, I'm going to track the Miata. I'm going to live with the Z every day. I'm crushing the Supra. I never thought I would say that ever in my life.
But given those choices, I see what you're saying. Like, because I want one of the Supras. Like, that's my new reasonable dream car ever since the manual came out. But it is a BMW, which means it puts it on a different maintenance tier than the other two cars.
I'd rather have it. I really fought with this a lot, but I think a Z, man, you're getting a VR engine, right? You're getting a real Nissan for the first time in so long.
Yeah.
That to me, that's the most appealing thing about the Z.
The tunability of that car is going to be insane. I just can't wait to see real, just out on the track or whatever.
I can't wait to see how
AMS?
many R35 parts bolt onto it, because that's just a Nissan thing.
Yeah.
AMS has already developed so much shit for it.
Well, they already had stuff because they
Exactly.
did the Q50 Infinities.
Yeah.
They've been tuning those for a while now. It's
Right.
the same engine.
Yeah.
So.
And they were making 400 horsepower out of them with software and nothing else.
Oh yeah, I mean, you upgrade the
Easily.
turbos, they were making 7.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is 700 horsepower.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Man, out of those 3, I think personally, I got to go with my gut, and I don't like this, but I would track the Supra, I would daily the Z, and unfortunately that leaves the Miata to go to the Crusher, and I do not like
In
that.
this case,
Yeah.
Miata was not always the answer.
It was the answer to which one goes to the Crusher.
Smash.
I don't like that. I am
Yeah.
a Miata guy, but I love Zs. And quite frankly, from what I've seen performance-wise, the Supra is just a track monster, and I want to drive one on track.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they're really tunable too.
Yeah.
You
and
can-
I like the Mazda. I love Miatas. But also, they're kind of dime a dozen. I don't know. That's a shitty...
I thought it was interesting.
It's putting down Old Yeller. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
happy about it, but...
Well, there's no good answer on this one. There really isn't, because I want all 3 of these cars. I own a Miata. I've owned a Z. I love BMWs. So I love that Supra even for its faults. That's what the best thing about old M cars is. The beauty is fleeting. It doesn't last. You have this wonderful experience, and then it will leak oil and break on you.
So what would your picks be, then?
So I think I would daily the Supra, even though I know all of that. Even though I'm going in with all of this knowing I'm fucking myself. I just love the BMW aesthetic, or the BMW ergonomics. I really like living with that. That's one thing I love about the BRZ is it feels... Ergonomically, it feels very similar to an E36 M3. The way the stalks are, the way the cruise control functions in exactly the same way. It has the same push when you go into a corner when the front tires start to break. And even something small like the way the window kind of rolls down a little bit when you open the door and close it. It feels like an E36 M3 ergonomically. It doesn't have the BMW throttle response. Which leaves me with tracking the Z or the Miata and crushing the other one, which is really, really tough.
It's not.
Are we going for fun or for lap times? That's the question.
Well, that's
Alright,
one
that's
out of a
personal.
track day.
Yeah.
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 Why do you go to try? Sorry, that's it. I mean,
if I were
That's just because you always have the best lap times
I don't.
when between us.
No, what?
Well, you've been beating me lately.
I've been catching up to you and barely tied your points at the end of the season because you like missed a key race. That's not.
So I guess that leaves me with racing the Z and crushing the Miata.
Wow, you would race the Z.
Yeah, I
Got a
mean,
great racing heritage. It's not a bad call.
But I don't know if that chassis is all that great on a track.
compared to the Supra, it's not.
Compared to a Miata, I don't know if it is.
Yeah, but I could just make so much goddamn power
This
out of
is
it.
true.
That's the drifter in you.
Yeah.
That must be it. It's like, well, my lap times are going to suck, but I'm going to leave all
sideways.
of my tire on the track.
That's a very Huffman answer. I love it.
Man, we crushed 2 Miatas.
I know.
We're about to crush 3. There is no way in hell I would have ever. I mean, I don't care. Like, I don't care how fun it is and how. Nope. I'm not.
You're not a Miata guy.
I can't. Okay, maybe I've only driven one. Okay, to be fair, and it was like super underpowered.
Yep.
I know. But I love.
That doesn't narrow it down.
No, I know. Like, there's a. Anyway, my answer is Track Supra, Daily Z, Crush the Miata. And
all right.
Track the Supra because same reasons. I just think that car would be the perfect track car. I don't think anybody here disagrees with that.
Yeah.
I think
If I was less of a hooligan, I might have flipped them.
yeah.
But the world is my racetrack.
I don't know enough about how the Z would like you said. Like, I don't know how well it would do on track, but I think it looks gorgeous. I love everything about it. I love that it comes with manual. I love the interior. It looks fucking fantastic. I would love to spend time just driving that car and. Like, I mean, a lot about cars is how you look driving it, right?
Yeah.
Another reason why I don't like the Miata.
Well, yeah, both me and you are very tall people.
Huffman and I are like,
Yeah, we're like, I look awesome pulling up in a Miata. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but you two
But
look
my head doesn't stick up over the windshield.
right. You
So-
two are the correct size for a
Yeah,
Miata.
I don't know about that.
I am not Miata.
Are you 5'10"?
This guy asked if I was 5'10". I'm 5'6" with these heels on, man.
Oh, it's the heels.
It is. I'm 5'5" on a great day.
Yeah, meanwhile, me and Hamza are CB antennas whipping around on the fucking top of the Miata.
That's true.
My head hits the roof of the GTI with the helmet on.
Yo.
Like, I'm gonna send you the clip of me on the back straight at HPR, like on that bump. I was like, boom, I was like, oh, like, I'll send it. You can include it in this. It's hilarious. Like,
He goes all cross-eyed for a second.
Oh, fuck.
So and obviously, oh well, the Miata, you can put the top down, but then you look like a moron because your head's sticking out of it. So I'm just not. Yeah.
Honestly, I've been picturing a Miata RF this entire time, just because
that's
it's a higher
exactly-
trim
yeah,
level,
that's what I
and
pictured too.
it's
That
not.
is
It's
a
still
good-looking Miata.
It looks great, right? And you know, since the Miata is so much more outclassed in this comparison, I'm gonna go with the best Miata.
Yeah, that's fair. We can give that. But even then, like, I still won't fit in that car with a helmet on.
Yeah.
So
Does the new manual Supra only comes with the smaller engine, correct?
No, bigger engine.
Or is it only the bigger? Which one does it?
It only comes with a 3-liter. You can't get the manual with a 2-liter.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
No, you can get it with the actual monster motor. And because the 8-speed automatic that you get with the 2-liter are the exact same ratios as the ones you get with the 3-liter.
Because it's more appealing to me to have a 6-speed smaller engine Supra.
oh no. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get a GR86.
Well, I think it's like an upgrade from a GR86. I think it's the proper version. Not proper because the GR86 is amazing, but I think it's just like that one step further. You know,
To me, if
it's
you
the
were gonna
perfect in
buy-
between.
So which one for this comparison? Which one were you imagine? Were you
Whichever
imagining
one the
two-
manual has to
four-cylinder?
be. But I mean,
So you were
it's-
comparing-
It has to be manual. So that's the whole point.
that's the 3-liter.
So this is 3-liter.
Yeah, to me, if you're going to buy an automatic GR86, just buy a 4-cylinder Supra.
Yeah.
Can you buy an automatic GR?
There were in last generation. I haven't checked this generation.
I'm sure you can.
But I remember when I was selling Subarus, we had a BRZ on the lot that was automatic, and because it was automatic, it sat there for quite a while.
Yep.
Like, people would test drive it, then order a manual.
You're right. They're like, yeah, this is great, but I need to run my own gears.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was some interesting results, I will say, out of all of that.
Those were some hard choices.
Right. We need to get a board here and start putting all these. Well,
Oh, yeah. You know what?
Then
Just
again-
do 3 every time, and then we have to kind of agree on them. But
Right.
maybe like propose one every other episode.
board over
One
there.
comparison.
We just
There
gotta
is
get
a
it on the
board.
wall.
Yeah, I need to make a frame for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Can we tag him on the wall and then put the board here?
yeah, we can figure something out.
Yeah, we could. I couldn't reach it to write on it.
I really want to see James May's reaction to this.
James May,
Yeah, I want to see how James May reacts to how seeing Clarkson as Jesus.
he'd probably just roll his eyes and call us idiots.
Yeah, yeah. Don't you think
Was
that'd be
it
hilarious?
Yabos?
Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, because Hammond would be like, "What?" But like James May would be like, "What have you done?" Like I want to see his react because I know Clarkson would love it.
Yeah, Clarkson would go.
But that's why I want to see James May like when he roasts YouTubers' cars. I want to see him roast.
And Hammond would just laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
I would go,
All right, we got somebody tag these men for God's sakes.
Yeah.
For JC's sakes. All right, heretics, that's gonna do it for us. What did you think of our choices?
Jesus Christ. All right, I just got
You just got that?
okay, you're going to redo that one.
And Hamza made this.
Wait, really?
I did. I'm sorry.
He had the idea. He made it.
I did.
He printed it.
That's the real.
Oh, we got a lot of reels out of this one. It's all good. Oh man.
Jesus Christ.
What? Great. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just,
Holy shit, my mind is
Oh,
blown.
this is awesome. The
is
initials
hilarious.
are there.
I love it.
Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, heretics, what do you think of our choices? Would you agree with these choices? You make something different. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, leave a comment down below about what choices you would have made. Unfortunately, if you're listening to the podcast, we don't have a comment section, but if you are listening to it on Apple Podcasts, there is a review section. It would do us a lot of good if you left us a review right now and gave us stars. Subscribe to wherever you listen to us. Do all of that good stuff depending on where you are watching or listening. It helps us more than you could actually ever imagine. So that is, of course, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. And if you're listening, it's on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere you get podcasts, honestly. We are everywhere.
we are.
It's kind of ridiculous and a lot to keep up on. But so follow us wherever you can. And I think that is going to do it for us today. So until next time, heretics, peace out.
Hold on.
I didn't thank the band Wheels for the use of our theme song Colors, which you can hear on the album Traveler Part 1, and you can find them at wheelstheband@bandcamp.com.
Thank you, Aaron. I am an idiot.
That was really good. That was really good.
And until next time, peace out.
That's great.